Hello friends, if you hear loud noises in the background, it's okay. I'm just putting out some information for everybody for this week's sensory. First off, let's kind of backtrack on last week for anyone who missed last week, because I'm still unable to get the Zoom videos to upload to YouTube. I'll send out the Zoom link now because I just sent out an email and I totally forgot to send the Zoom link, so I will send that. But what we talked about is we talked about mostly malt components, which we kind of went over in the last YouTube video talking about malts and Maillard reactions. But the other thing we introduced last week was the beer flavor wheel. So this isn't about styles, this is about flavors. So I'm gonna kind of zoom in and see if I can get that to focus a bit. Oh no. So you see it's got flavor descriptors all around it. For every, oops, shaky chair. For everything from hop flavors to malt flavors. We kind of focus on the malt flavors. So if you could get a copy of a beer flavor wheel, or they also have a beer flavor map that is put out by Draft Lab, which is also really, really helpful. The main way to use this, which we didn't go over too in depth, is, let's best describe it. So say you're tasting beer and you're focusing on malt characteristics. That's what you're thinking about. And immediately off the malt characteristics, you just are like, grain. It tastes like grain. So then you'd go to like grainy. Well, what kind? And then it asks you kind of like, what kind of grainy? Is it like corn grits? Is it malto meal? Is it cream of wheat, rice? What kind of grain? And so you can kind of break it off from there of like, and try and find words that help you to better break down and describe that flavor. A better example of this is when you go into something like the aromas, like fruity, so it's something fruity. Okay, so fruity, is it fruity like a berry? Or is it a raspberry, strawberry? Is it more like a pear or an apple? Maybe it's a melon. What kind of melon? So with like most things, that's kind of the idea of this flavor wheel and the flavor map, is to ask the constant why or the what. So it's a fruit. What kind of fruit? Why is that? What kind of fruit does that mean? Like, oh, it tastes tropical. Well, what kind of tropical fruit? Is it guava, passion fruit? So that's again why I encourage, go to the store, get fruits you've never tried before, get fruits you've tried all the time, and taste these things, but with this idea in mind. Taste them with the idea of breaking down how and why does it taste the way it tastes. So if I am tasting this in a beer, I can better identify it. And again, you can do this with fruits, you can do this with grains, with different kinds of breads. Again, like I said, malto meal, cream of wheat, cream of rice, corn grits. You can do this with biscuits, crackers, water crackers, any of those kinds of things. And then also, we will get to yeast characteristics, which aren't as big a component in what we're doing for our brewery, but I want you to have an awareness of them anyway. So we'll briefly touch on yeast characteristics on Tuesday. We'll mostly go over hop characteristics and building our beer vocabulary and the best ways to do that. I also will have some homework to send home for anyone who actually comes on Tuesday. So if you're coming on Tuesday, I do recommend we will have some homework to take home. And let me think. I think that that's it for today. I just want you guys to really familiarize yourself with the flavor wheel or any other resource you find that's similar to this that helps you. Because again, this is all about making sure that you have a process that works for you. And on that note, someone was saying in class, so I wanted to bring this up, that's right. Someone was saying in class that every time they try a certain kind of beer, they taste a certain flavor. And no one agrees with them. No one knows why they taste this flavor, but every time they have this, they taste this. And so in asking me what that is, there are lots of things it could be, but what's most important for you as an individual, so say every time you drink a stout, you taste white chocolate, not dark chocolate, not roast chocolate, but you taste white chocolate. Well, then try some porters. Do you taste it when you taste porters? What about a brown? Do you taste it when you taste a brown? So that you can maybe pin down what ingredient it is or what component it is that makes you taste that specific thing. The reason for that is that maybe there's an ingredient that you're just highly perceptible to. Some people have hop sensitivities, some people have off flavor sensitivities, but what's gonna best serve you is pinning down the ingredient, the process, or what it is that makes you taste that specific flavor every single time you have that beer. So again, I can't taste for you. I don't know what you're tasting, but it's great that you're recognizing you have that flavor come forward every single time. And it's just now up to you to do the homework and kind of pin it down. What could it be? So, and I'm totally willing to help out in that process or give you some pointers as far as tracking down process or ingredients. But that's something to know and keep aware of. Maybe take more notes when you're tasting beers so you can kind of start putting together puzzle pieces of like, well, every time I have a lager, I taste this. Maybe it's something to do with the lager yeast or the lager process, which is exactly what I want you guys keying into. All right, cheers everybody. Have a great day. We'll see you on Tuesday.